Hi to everyone. Right. Okay. Okay, we've got Akwezi, Ches. Yeah. So there's about 6 of us. Sophia. Brother Nia Nabs. Hi. Florence. Hi. Well, who else we got? Some people are not showing their faces, but that's okay. Abigail, hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Norma. You're all right. Okay, we let everybody in a bit early because we said we didn't want to be doing black man time, you know? So we come in early, you know? Type of thing. Can't hear you, Norma. You're going to have to put your mic on. I can't hear you.
Anybody that wants to speak?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
hear me now? We're all business people. We don't deal in black man time.
That's
Time is money.
Yeah, so we give it about 3 minutes before we really start everything. But yeah, I mean, what do? We can do a kind of an introduction. My name's Carl.
My name is Junior.
Okay.
Otherwise known as Jay.
Yeah. Carl Anthony is what I'm known as. But my name is Carl Wilson. It's Carl Anthony Wilson. But I only use the first 2 parts, you know. Yeah, okay. So as I said, we're giving it like 2 minutes. We don't know how many people is going to attend. We haven't really pushed it out that far. This is the first kind of Zoom that we're doing under the front room. We're going to be doing this regular, at least once a month. The idea behind today was really to kind of give people an idea of what we're about, where we're coming from, and so that some of you want to know probably who we are, you know, behind it all. So we'll just give it another 2 minutes, and then that.
So we've got to welcome everybody else that's just joined us as well.
Right.
We've got Jeff Schumann in the house as well. We've got Ches D, Susanna, Miss BB. Yeah, got a few people coming in. Okay, that's nice. So as Carl said, well, first of all, we've got to say good evening to everybody that's coming in. It is our first Zoom kind of thing. So if technical things happen, believe it or not, we are technical guys, but if it comes to Zoom and anything messes up, do bear with us, all right? If you want to speak, what we will say is, if you want to speak now, you can speak whilst we're just waiting for people to come in. Otherwise, as we start, we just want to sort of give everybody an overview of everything, and then by the time we finish, we'll open up all the mics and everybody can start talking and put your hands up and start talking and so on. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, is there an agenda? And if so, can you put the agenda in the chat?
There isn't an agenda, to be quite honest with you right now. Any further ones that we do, this was more or less just a kind of right, let you know who we are and the type of thing we want to do. We just a general type of thing, you know, just to give people an idea. We didn't want to do it in the formal way in the first instance anyway, okay. You know. So no, there isn't really an agenda as such, you know. It's kind of a let's kind of just
relaxed, informal,
get to know, so that you know who's behind what we're trying to do anyway, and all of that type of thing. Okay, so it's now 7:30. I'm not too sure how many people we've got in. Probably, we were saying that we'd probably only get about 2 or 3. As I said in the first instance, we never really pushed it out that much, you know. We didn't circulate it as much as we could have. So I did. Huh? Who did?
I did.
Oh, did you? Oh, nice one, bro.
So did I.
Okay, nice one. Nice one. Okay, that's the kind of way.
We've got 20 in right now. So, you know, what we wanted to make sure is that we have the right people, the people who really want to know what we're about, want to get involved, want to move forward, and so on and so on. So, you know, like we said, we didn't want it to be too formal on this one, but going forward, there will be more structures as we start tying down things and getting that kind of direction.
Jeff or Denzel, right?
Don't call him Denzel, please.
Well, he's got the name up there. Right. Yeah.
That's how
Okay.
you recognize fake people, yeah? Okay.
Exit.
Hey, that's a good hint for you right there at Denzel.
He
All right.
wishes he was.
Oh, he's
Right,
got know
Bella.
that. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
guys. Okay, so we're on time now. It's 7:31. So like I said, if we can lock off the mics now for now, and we'll get going. And by the time we finish, we'll just open up the floor. Yeah. So just
And then we can chat, and we want ideas on whatever else, you know. So we're just going with the flow right now. So if anything messes up, you can have a laugh, but we apologize from now on, from now before, right? Okay. So what we wanted everybody to know was who we are and where we come from. I'm Carl, as I said, and that's Junior. We're brothers. Obviously, he's the older one, as you can tell by the gray hair and all of this. But now I'm the younger one, really. I mean, I'm the older one, right? Obviously. And we've been involved in the internet from since 1996, 97 type of thing, right? We was the first ones to really have a website that identified itself as black. That was called BlackNet. Some people might know it, some people might not, but back in those days, there wasn't many people who had computers at home, never mind being on the internet in 1997. Now, when we started, we said we recognized, because we'd been messing with the internet even before the internet. It used to be called bulletin boards, and all you could see was text. So what happened when it turned into the internet, when you started to be able to put pictures and things like that, we thought it was fantastic, because now we could see a picture and some text, you know, we got excited, you know what I mean? But one of the things is, both me and my brother, we said that, boy, we want to know more about this internet and things. So we decided to go to university as mature students to study new technology, media and communication. The degree was called. When we got there, the tutor didn't know as much as me and my brother. So we was ending up the ones teaching the students, you know what I mean? Which was a bit crazy. But that's how much nobody understood the internet. But while we was there at university, we recognized and we believed that the internet would be something that we as a community could use to start interacting and start supporting each other and really dealing with the issues that was affecting us and things like that. So that's when we started BlackNet. We then went on to start another thing called BlackChat over 20 years ago. Just to let you know, I'm telling you this just to let you know where we're coming from. And we did that. BlackNet became very popular. BlackChat became very popular, but it was only popular, obviously, to those people who had computers in their house, or those people that was going to university, or those people that were going to university, or if they was in colleges and all of that. In fact, more or less, we was going around the universities and we were speaking to the ACSs, the African Caribbean Societies, telling them that they need to get onto the internet. These, you know, the black people, we need to get onto the internet. We was doing that back in those days, 1998, 99, and so on. And we got that popular that the university started to block us, because any university you went in at that time, the black students, they was on the BlackChat, or they was on the BlackNet and things like that, and that created a problem. Anyway, we became very popular and we started to do very, very well in that sense. That was up until 2006. Some of you, there's newspaper cuttings even to this day in The Guardian, for example, talking about, and if you read this Guardian news report that they did on us in 2000, in the year 2000, you will see it reads no different to the news that's going on today in relation to the black community and the black market, right? So again, I'm only telling you this just so that you know where we're coming from. And who we are and what we're trying to do. So 2006, our mother got diagnosed with dementia. So it was at that time we had to say, well, do we continue with BlackNet and BlackChat, or, you know, do we look after mum? Well, obviously we had to be mum, you know. So what we did is we didn't get rid of BlackNet, we didn't get rid of BlackChat, but we didn't maintain it and we didn't update it or anything like that. From 2006 until she died in 2016. Hi, Equality, somebody's looking forward to chatting. Somebody sent a message, I was just reading a message, sorry about that. So for 10 years, although BlackNet had existed and Black Chat had existed, we hadn't done nothing. But we wasn't that worried at that time because you had a few other websites. You had one called Darker Than Blue, which came after us. You had another one called Black Britain again. And we thought that they would really be turned into something good. Our main interest was looking after Mum for the 10 years. 2016, Mum died. We sent out a message to our members that we had on the email asking them what do they want us to do with BlackNet moving forward. They said that they wanted us to do things on entertainment and, kind of a ticket outlet. So we did. We became an events kind of what's on guide and a ticket outlet. And what we was doing, we was any tickets that people sold through us, obviously the money goes back in to try and keep BlackNet going and so on. And that's what we did. Well, obviously, as we all know, the death of George Floyd really impacted us as a community right across the world. And then obviously that the Black Lives Matter movement. It was at that time, me and my brother, we looked at each other and we said, look, we've got to do something about this, because we started to recognize, it became apparent to us at that time how much we didn't seem to have any media outlet that we owned. We didn't have a lot of things. And we had, at that time, we had our Black Chat that was still running as a chat room. And that was something that we wanted to close. We wanted to close Black Chat down years ago, but we left it because people were still using it. We used to, as a joke, call them dinosaurs, because some of the people have been in there for 20 odd years, you know what I mean? But we wasn't maintaining it, so it was getting a bad name as well. So then we said, let's kind of start a social network, because we heard a lot of people saying that we should own our own things, right? And because of our IT background, we said, well, we can put that in place. So that's exactly what we did. We put it in. What we did is we closed down Black Chat, the chat room, and we turned that into the social network. Now we kind of did that as a kind of a beta test while we was getting to put the whole thing together. And we ran it for 12 months. And then we decided, we said, because we had a lot of people that were coming in, still expecting the old chat room. So we decided that we needed to change it from Black Chat and give it a name. And we couldn't come up with a name until, Junior, you can explain this part.
So let me sort of, excuse me, good evening everybody. So let me sort of follow on from that. So there's a few reasons on top of why we had to move from Black Chat as well, just so that everybody's clear. The people were finding it difficult to accept the chat part of the name. And that was one. Obviously, chat is synonymous with various, things, like if families were going into chat rooms, it would, that maybe the partner would feel a little bit funny that that person's in the chat room, what you're doing in the chat room or whatever it is. So that was one of the reasons why we changed it. Also, blackchat.com, for example, is not any way affiliated with us. But when you put Black Chat in, we was getting people that thought it was the blackchat.com, which is an adult website. And they were coming into the Black Chat and obviously posting things that weren't really what we wanted to see. So we had to change the name and look at ways that we can move forward and have a name that could resonate with people and have a direction where we could take it to wherever we want to take it. But more importantly, it was kind of like a nod towards our parents and grandparents, who the front room is what we changed it to, as you know it now, to us is a sign of progression. So obviously, our parents came over, from the Caribbean and Africa, everybody living in one household, for example, to begin with. You might have 2 or 3 families in one household. And moving forward, once they started to pull their money together and get their own places, the front room became a special place. You know, it became a place where, as we know, as kids, we couldn't go in there. But what took place in there was wonderful things. You know, yes, parties. We know, you know, 9 nights, weddings, everything that used to take place. We'd invite people down to come and have discussions, rallies, you know, conversations, which was important to the community. And we felt that we wanted to sort of replicate that kind of mentality from back in the day, to say, to give them a nod, but also to acknowledge that we have moved forward, and we've still got so much further to go as well. So hence why we came up with the name Front Room. And sorry, just bear with me a second while I just let a few people in. Sorry about this. Yeah, so for us, that the front room then became something where we can empower, support, you know, nurture, inspire, and also build together and going forward. And I think it's a space where, you know, people, how can I put it? People with an interest in Black culture and the Black community can also come and see what we're about, as opposed to us always trying to be accepted rather than being accepted. You know, it's about time that we be respected. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of where the front room was coming from. Can you just take over a second while I just charge this put this.
I don't know what's happened to him. Yeah, yeah, so as we were saying, because like Junior was saying, when we was growing up, I used to remember my dad and his friends coming down, and I remember them talking about building things and you know, sorting out the issues. You know, I always heard them talking about basically how they're going to overcome oppression, and it was always about, you know, they needed to own, we needed to get houses, we needed community centers, you know, and we needed this type of thing. This was the type of conversation that we used to hear in the front room. And obviously, like Junior was saying, you know, in there you'd have the parties, you've got your blue spot gram, you've got your glass fishing, you've got all of that. But it was the community, you know, it was really what the community was about. So this is one of the reasons why, for us, we thought that, because we need to get the people them that to support what we're doing now with the front room, right? We know we needed to get we need to get the right-minded people, you know, like-minded people. These are people who really want to progress, who want to move forward. We talk about recycling the Black pound and all of that, and this is what we're about. And, you know, there's a lot of, obviously, social networks that are out there at the moment, and people are using these social networks, and they're creating groups, and we want to be able to stand alongside them. What a lot of people don't recognize, though, a lot of the Black pound is now pouring out of the community through these very same social networks, right? Because we're creating groups. What we've been doing is we've been educating some of these social networks about our community, our likes, our dislikes, you know, what we do, where we go, right? That's what we've been doing. And you see all the time when they're on these other social networks, they're giving away the information about us. And those social networks are then selling this data. They call it, comes under the big data bracket. And then they're selling it to the advertisers. And this is how our pound, the Black pound, is starting to seep out of our community. And it's terrible the way it's going. You will see now that a lot of the adverts, you'll see Black faces. So it looks like it's Black owned when it's not. You know, they're teaching them how to advertise to us as a community. Back in the day, we had to set up our own network. We had radio stations. We had to do pirate stations even in the first instance. And we was advertising to ourselves. We had our newspapers. You had the Voice newspaper, New Nation newspapers, and these type of things. This is how we'd be out on the streets with our leaflets, and we'd be leafleting outside the dances and things like that. This is how we communicated with each other. Then our parents, they used to interact with each other. They've had community centers, and then the community centers, they'd all get together and have domino matches and things like that. This is how we stayed together. what's happening at the moment now, these social networks are starting to divide us. We're looking like we're together because there's loads of groups and all these groups represents this and represents that. But it's actually, they're dividing us. Because one of the things that a lot of people don't recognize or know, it's all controlled by algorithms and certain moderators. And what they do is, if it benefits these social networks, then whatever you're posting may become viral because it benefits that social purpose. But you put certain things in that benefits the community, they don't go viral. If somebody puts something up there about beauty, for example, that'll go viral. If you're showing your food, that'll go viral. But once you start talking about something that's needed, like your sickle cell or dementia and anything like that, you get very little response. The algorithms does that. Sometimes you may ask yourself, you post something and you might get only 2 likes or 3 likes. But you go and post something about beauty and this and that, and then you're going to get hundreds and whatever kind of likes, or even if somebody's passed on, that will go viral, obviously. But that's the control. What we're trying to do is we're trying to say, look, we're not saying to people to leave any one of the other social media networks. We're not saying that at all. We're saying that we need to have our own that stands alongside them. Do you understand? We're saying to people, you still use those ones to market whatever you want to market, but also support, not just us, there's other people that are doing social networks. We're saying support any social network. We as a community, I believe we need to start making other communities see us supporting ourselves. Do you understand that? Right? Because like Junior was saying before, a lot of us, all we're doing all the time is we're begging to be accepted. So when we post these things, we want our things to go viral, we're begging to be accepted. But what we need to do is we need to build as a community so that we become respected. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a platform for our community so that people can see that we can do this type of thing. You only need to look at us, and this comes from, you know, when it comes to food, where do we get our food from? Even when you see the person that owns the food shop, where do they get the food from? Right, excuse me, sorry, I can't answer this. 1 second. Right, where do we get the food from? We get it from the Asian man. Even when, if you see the shop out there, the majority of the time they're going to the wholesalers and it's the Asian wholesalers. But the shops we're going to buy our food from, most of the time, is an Asian shop. You want hair, beauty products, you're going to an Asian shop. It's almost as though we always expect other people to make things available to us and for us. So what we're saying is, what we're trying to do is to get the people that really want to recycle the black pound, that really want to support each other, that really want to show other communities that we are a community. And we don't really need other people. And this goes right back. It's the same thing in Africa. You can see the same things going on in Africa now. I think they're now waking up and realizing half of the stuff, all of the countries, they need the things from Africa in order to make these stuff, you know, all the minerals and things. They have to go to Africa, and what's Africa been doing? Selling them the minerals, when what they should be doing is making it themselves. And they're recognizing that now. Right? We as a community, I'm just saying as a community, so this is where we're, yeah, I get passionate, you know, so I'm sorry about this. You know what I mean?
I think Carl, let me to follow up on what you're saying there as well. I think, you know, the other side of what Carl's saying as well is we have so much information that is relative to the Black community that you're not seeing on other platforms. And that, again, is because of algorithms and things like that, okay? But what you will find is that you'll find that if you like a specific article, maybe a few of your friends might see it, okay? And then you might just pass it on to a couple of other people. But we've got writers, journalists, creatives out there who, news bloggers all of these people are not getting their information out as much as that could be if we had a central place, a social platform that will expose and make that aware to a wider audience, if that makes sense. So, you know, at the moment, we feel there's so much information out there. There's so many people, like Carl said about the Black Pound, for example, that's only getting cycled, let's say once, for example, now, you know, sorry, since George Floyd is getting cycled because a lot more people are supporting Black businesses. But once these Black businesses need to market, where are they marketing? They're marketing on the other social platforms, but the money's still going out. It's going out again, it's gone, yeah? And that we feel is not enabling our community to grow. So just to go over what Carl was saying, radio stations, newspapers, media outlets, everybody like that, they're falling by the wayside, you know, and we have to, you know, what's the first thing that we do? We go onto social media. If we start a business, if we start anything, the first thing we go on to is those mainstream social media networks. We start posting, they give us a little juice, you get a little viral thing going on, you might get a few people that are interested, but before you know it, it's gone flatline. Now you're working hard, you're working doubly hard. And then you realize that, hold on a second, I've got to start paying for ads for this thing to work for me. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, to me, yes, you know, go on, Carl, what are you saying there?
No, I was just responding. Happiness CCC was saying something. Yeah, the point is what she was saying was quite right. I think one of the things as well, just to show you what we're dealing with, Facebook, when it comes to what we're doing, even what we were doing with Black, but even more so now with Frontroom, because we'll share stuff from Frontroom on Facebook, but Facebook, and which is obvious really, they shut us down, if you like. Yeah, in other words, you might see I'll post something up there, but only 2 or 3 people will see what I've posted up there, simply because of what we're doing. Facebook tried to shut us down. I get messages telling me that well, me personally, I can't boost a post on Facebook. They've told me you're not allowed to boost, right? Because those management or moderators, they know that what we're trying to do is we're trying to create our own community.
Here's a better way of putting it as well. We've built a following and we can't even target that following on these platforms. So we've carried, you know, and everybody's done it. Everybody's carried people to these platforms, but everybody now is not reaching their own. So it's almost like you saying, well, you know, I've got 5,000 in my network, but I can only reach 500. If you want to reach your own network, then you got to pay, you know, decent amount of money regular. So, you know, what we want to do is provide that platform where people are able to come and know what they're going to get. It's going to be, they know what the platform serves, they know what the mission and the vision is, and obviously that's to support, empower, you know, our own community, so that the cycle is full 100. We know it's going to go out at some point, but yeah, go on.
I think even further than that, I mean, to go on with all of that, but one of the things that's important to us, again, we want to, some of you may know that we're supporting dementia from a culturally sensitive perspective, because one of the things that became apparent to us when our mum was living with dementia was the fact that there is no support from a culturally sensitive perspective, right, for people from the African and Caribbean community who are living with dementia. Now, you try and put that on Facebook, you try and put that on any one of the other, so it doesn't get no
traction.
It doesn't get no traction. And on top of that, I'll give you an example of how we're being controlled. I started a campaign just the other day, but I started one with directly to the government. And I sent it out, because what you got to do is send it out, and 5 people got to sign up first. This is a proper government political thing. And what I was asking for the government to make it compulsory that all of the care homes and all of the people that are providing activities for people who are living with dementia, that it was done from a culturally sensitive perspective. In other words, if the person is from Ireland, then that should be taken into consideration. From the Caribbean, that should be taken into consideration. And the government sent a message back saying that, no, you can't do that campaign, yeah, because basically they don't understand what it means to be culturally sensitive, right? Now, what we want is a platform, our own community platform, where we address these things and we get the numbers up. If we had the numbers up, then government people would have to listen to us, because we're a community saying this, you know. And this is one of the reasons why it's important, why as far as we're concerned. And again, if you don't want to support us, the Front Room, there are others. There's some American ones, and there may be a couple of other UK ones, and support one of those. Our interest is just that we as a community, that we have a platform that we can use to uplift, empower, and support things that affect us.
Oh,
Right.
1 second there.
Yeah, go on.
Can I just let Sonia know? Sonia's got her hand up. What we're going to do is we're just going to go through the Front Room quickly. We're going to do like a presentation on the Front Room. That's for those who haven't signed up or registered or logged in, or some people want to know a few more.
Maybe, Junior, maybe we should give them a chance to ask questions at this point, and then
that's entirely up to you, bro.
No, I mean, yeah, because rather than, you know, let's get some feedback from some people. Does anybody have any?
Oops, hold on. 1 second. Got the wrong one here. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this. Don't worry, I'm coming. Sonia, first up. Hi, Sonia. How you doing?
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi.
Right. Interesting what you said before. I am continually interested in terms of how we can actually progress as a community for the betterment of ourselves and our families in the future and build a legacy. In regards to, you mentioned about you approach the government in terms of culture, addressing dementia, cultural perspective. We have actually seen, and the government has continued to demonstrate, they don't care about us in any way, shape or form. So approaching the government and actually advising them or making suggestions in terms of factoring culture is a waste of time and builds on the frustration and our trauma. If anything, we'll be better off just trying to put things in place ourselves.
No, well, we're doing that, Sonia, because we've started a thing called the Pearl Support Network, Pearl being the name of my mother, and this was to address the lack of culturally sensitive support for dementia people. But what I was doing, I was trying to get one of those, you know, the campaigns. I just wanted to get people's signatures. But I did it through the government one. I'm going to do another one through one of them other ones now, where the government doesn't control it, to try and get as much signatures as possible so that we can present that to them and say, look, this is like how much hundreds of thousands of people or whatever that agree with the fact that we need culturally sensitive things. But the first one I did was.
The reason why I'm just going to cut you there, because obviously what we want to do is we want to stay focused. But in response to you, Sonia, this is one of the reasons why, you know, we are doing the Front Room, and that's what you've just said there is exactly what we're trying to get across to people. Although they might think that things are being done for us, and again, we'll use that term, we're always trying to be accepted rather than being respected. We got to get up off our ass and we have to support each other. Fact, simple. Sorry, Sonia, go ahead.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
Yeah, so, you know, to like you're saying there, thank you for clarifying that with us, that yes, we know that the government doesn't really care. We still will sort of throw things at them, but it gives us the power to move forward and the inspiration to move forward, but it also validates what we're trying to say. Thank you very much, Sonia. Can I take another one at the moment?
Yeah, Omar.
Thank you.
Yeah, can I say something?
Hold on one second. I got Omar.
Hello?
Yeah, who's talking?
It's Omar is up next.
Yes,
Right.
Omar. My question is this: as we grow, what are we going to do about people, other non-Black people coming in and trying to take over? Because, for example, you've got Facebook groups for Black businesses, Black-owned businesses, and some of them allow. Of course, you can't tell who is Black and who is not. So you've got other people coming into those groups and taking things over, or you've got, for example, Asian businesses fronted by Black people. So even though we're forming our own community here, what are we going to do to make sure it doesn't get taken over by these?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. They can't take it over because it's ours, if you see what I'm saying. Nobody can take it over. And if somebody comes in there and we find out, obviously, like you said, we don't know, but once we recognize somebody is posing as a Black organization or Black company or so, right, then we'll just remove them, right? But people, we'll have to find that out, you know what I mean? So it's not our intention. We're not stopping anybody from coming in. Any community people can come in, right? But they can't advertise their business as Black owned as such. They may have services, there may be even services that you want to use. We've got to find a way around that. But our aim is, as we said, to support our own business. There's going to be, we imagine that there will be other communities that come in because they want to support our community as well. They might be looking for that. So they can come in and use it from that perspective, but they cannot, they wouldn't be able to put their business up there as a Black business, if you see what I'm saying. It won't happen like that. Once we can identify that that person is not Black, we will just remove them because we own it and we can do it. On Facebook now, so that's a different thing, or Instagram.
Okay.
I hope that, yeah. Anybody who else, Junior?
We got Brother Nia. We got Brother Nia up. Don't worry, I'm coming
Nia.
to you, bro.
Yeah, you want to talk?
Yeah. Two things very quickly. Can I ask you to please refrain from saying that there was no other Black organization out there for dementia for Black people?
I never said there was.
We've had this conversation.
Yeah, I never said that there wasn't. I said that they're not dealing. I said that there wasn't anybody out there dealing strictly from a culturally sensitive perspective and doing that. I'm saying that when my mother was ill, I was trying to find these organizations. Any one of them, because I know the dementia. I know
Dementia UK.
Yeah, I know her very well. Do you understand? I know her very well, and we've worked together. So that's not what I was saying at all, right? And what they do is slightly different from what we do, what we was doing. And if you notice, I was talking about activities. It's about living well with it. It's mainly about activities, and that's where I was coming from. Nobody was there doing that from an activities to help them to live well with it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Also, Brother Nia, you'll find that her logo's on our website as well. So we support because we work with them. So yeah, just letting you know that we.
I know, but it's just the way you said it.
Yeah, no,
okay.
I understand, and I apologize if it came across wrong. But
Yeah.
I know Sherelle very well. You understand what I'm saying? I know her very well.
And I'm so glad you're working together. Very good.
Yeah. I've even spoken I spoke at the last one she had down there. We work together, and we have done for a number of.
Beautiful. And my other point is, as the older generation, I get the name Frontroom, but how do you feel it relates to the younger generations?
Well, now this, strangely enough, my daughter said the same thing to me, and I said to her, well, at the end of the day, right, the front room is still important even to the young people nowadays. We've got to make it still relevant. And I said, at the end of the day, what we're doing, right, we're saying for the younger ones, your 30s, that kind of thing, right? We're saying to them, right, you kind of understand what the front room is, and it's for you to really use this so that the next generation can have respect for the front room. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's where we're coming from. Because we know that some of the kids, they won't understand, but by the time we finish, the front room will mean something.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Carl,
Bring it back.
Carl, can
Stop
I
calling it
just
the lounge.
Hold on, Denzel, 1 second.
Yeah.
Brother Lee, are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay,
All
cool.
right.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
Brother
you. Denzel,
Jeff.
fire.
fantastic. First and foremost, for those who aren't aware of the brothers, I have to say, Carl, my admiration for you and your brother is second to none. I think you're absolutely fantastic. And I like to think that over the years, whenever you were doing whatever you were doing back in the day, whenever I was in a position to do anything, I've always been supportive. And will always continue to. I think absolutely marvelous what you do. And I think this whole concept of what you're trying to do, I just sometimes get a little bit worried with our community. We sometimes make statements where we expect people to be at the same level of threshold of thought, of connectivity, when we're not. The first question the sister posed, which I thought was excellent, about there are groups that are on Facebook, then they get infiltrated and people want to take them over, whatever, and blah, blah, blah. You know, when you've got rules of engagement, and I mean really firm rules, that then became difficult for people to then throw you off course. Unless you do that, I mean, look at the guy who sold Marcus Garvey the boat, sabotaged it. There are people who are, no one's going to give you the education that you need to overthrow them. So in response to the question of what was being asked, how do you engage the younger generation, and only is very much about solution-based issues and focus. Well, you've got TikTok, you've got other ones that my son and that generation will be into. But you know, if we are the older generation and we are going to set not a trend but a benchmark of how we try to access our young people, because a lot of what they listen to is poison. And I say that and I make no apologies, because on Saturday I attended a 35-year-old birthday party. There must be about 200 people there, and some of the music was so vulgar and sexual. I'm not religious in any shape or form, but it shows you just how difficult our tasks are, how difficult it is for what you're looking to do, for us to educate ourselves and support you. You need to be very careful, my brother. So you've got this meeting this evening, you and Jay, superb. But again, I'm going to upset people here, but I don't care. You've got people here, you can't see who they are. Have a ground rule where you can see and you know whoever they are, so people can't infiltrate your organization. We just caught one now, who we're exposing in different arenas, because we're all comparing emails about this individual who runs networks and is extremely dangerous, very dangerous. But unless you are able to make a stand, show people the evidence of the treachery, evidence of the person's behavior, don't let people hide behind mental health. Because what you're then doing is you're allowing people to continue behaving in a divisive way. And I will kill if I have to ensure that the brothers and the things that you do succeed. But brother, one of the things that there's a similar group in America I'm aware of. Yeah. They got about 5,000 people. You can't go on the platform unless you show them who you are. And whenever they got a suspicion about anybody, they go digging, they go looking. So whilst this organization of what you're planning to do is wonderful, it's so important that you are very much aware that there are people who will be paid to come in and destroy the legacy of what you're trying to do. So we know for a fact that our food chain is systemically controlled. We know that there are businesses that Asians will put us up front so that we will spend money with them. And then you've got to look and say, well, people are happy to take on that role because they're happy, they want to improve their economic and financial situations. But brothers, I'm telling you, and I say I'm not religious, but if there's one thing I've learned from watching the nation, in particular, and their behavior about doing for self and knowledge of self, it's a thankless task. What you brothers have been doing is an absolute outrage that you haven't got the kind of support that you should have had. Carl, you and I were talking about this 3 or 4 years ago at a Felix Dexter event.
Yeah.
We've having this conversation since 2010. From my tenure at Choice in 2003, we were talking on this level there. I've not changed. I lost my job because I'm too black and I'm too political. But brothers, unless you get a grip and you know who you're dealing with, and who you're offering your medication to. There are people who will come into this forum and they will look to destroy it, infiltrate it, and cause all kind of mayhem. And as long as you are prepared to weed out those who really, and I stress this, who really have no interest in black progress,
Jeff,
you ain't going nowhere, brothers.
Jeff, listen to me. Thank you for your input there. Jeff, you've got to, like you said, you know, we've talked for years. In fact, we go back even further than that. I remember carrying your record box, man, like a box boy. You know, right?
2000. I remember the night very well.
Yeah, that's how far we go back. But Jeff, one of the things we remember, we said we started in 1997.
Yeah.
And believe me and Junior, we know who comes in. Even while it's been going on, while we've been as Black Chat. The social network, we've removed people after people every day. We know this. The key thing is that it's our platform, so we're in charge. You understand?
I think one of the things, let me sort of just follow on that, because we are, as a community, you know, people have been looking out for the site. The site is about the community, and what we're going to instill and push and fight for is that community spirit, which means that, you know, we can't do it on our own. We would be silly to be trying to do it on our own. It doesn't make sense, because we cannot reflect the whole community. Each person in here, for example, you know, if you go away and you're bringing like-minded people, and those that are coming in know that they're going to be defending the front room, for example, looking out for, bad underground behavior or whatever it is. Like Carl said, we've been weeding out people from, believe it or not, Africa, who are trying to do fraud. We've been weeding out people from India, Pakistan, Turkey, Philippines, loads of places of people who have tried to infiltrate. We've had people who have tried to come in as though they're black. They've taken stock photos and put their pictures up and stuff like that. So as you know, we've been around for a long time. We do what we can do, but collectively, as users, members, part, getting involved in the front room, we're hoping that everybody will show that community spirit by calling out people, calling out things if there's something that isn't right. Obviously we have to take a judgment on it, but at the end of the day, it's all about supporting each other.
Jay, yeah. I'm so glad you just said that, because when we do finish, I've already spoken to Carl. I'm going to present you privately with some information and some evidence. I didn't mean to, but I started a group about 2 months ago. There were 8 of us. We're now nearly 300 strong of people comparing notes about this individual who runs networks in our community and how much of a danger she is. And the reason why I'm making this point to you and your brother is that it is so easy with social media to create a fake profile, sit in a meeting like this, not show your face, gather intel, and then eventually down the line cause madness and mayhem to the organization. And I heard what you said there, Jay, about you'll look into it and you'll check and whatever. I'm going to hold you to that threshold.
No, we do that. We've been doing that for years.
We can't do that. You've got to remember,
I've pre-warned Carl. Yeah, there's a number of black women who've come forward. It's a number of black
don't worry.
Listen,
forward. Jeff, you actually, me and you had a conversation about the same person some time back.
Yes.
You remember?
Yes.
Right. So what we're saying, Jeff, and I can understand where you're coming from, but we're building something that we own. Nobody else don't own. What we're trying to do with this, as what we want is, we want all the people that use us and become a member to us, that they actually get ownership of it. Eventually, we want to make, we said 12 months down the line, we want to make shares available and all kind of things available, because we believe that it's our community. That's
our community. To our community, people.
So we want members, and then the members can get their shares and become, because we're talking about, this is something that we decided to do this to say, look, it's not going to be easy, right? Because you've got people out there, they'll come on and they'll say, oh, look, it looks like nothing's going on, or nobody's writing on there, and all of this, right? And then they've gone back to Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. We're looking for people that want to help us to build it. That means they're going to come in and they're going to share the information. You might see something on Facebook that it's good. And you, if you think it's good, take it and share it with us. You understand? Because other people will see that maybe don't see it on the Facebook, for example. But we're saying, we're starting, because we haven't got the money that Facebook have got. Everything that you see us doing, we're doing it out of our own pocket at the moment. Do you understand what I'm saying? And we've always done it. For years, we've done that. We've not asked nobody for nothing. But now we want to take this to another level. And we want to make, as we said later on, we want to make shares available to our community so that everybody's a piece of it and so that we can carry it. And then it can become something for the next generation.
I think you brothers are fantastic. I will follow you to the ends of the earth. I don't need, as I say, I don't know Jay as well as I know you, Carl, but I know that what you are doing is magnificent. And one of my major roles is to go to meetings like this and to make sure that people who I know penetrate, cause maximum division, provide people with the evidence. Some of the things that we've discovered, Jay and Carl, in the last 2 months is absolutely frightening.
Let me say
absolutely frightening. And this woman is still out there. Absolutely
let me say this to you. Let me say this to you. That woman who you're talking about, and this is the way me and Junior stay in reality. We try not to focus on the negative. We always try to focus on the positive. But from the time I had the conversation with you from a long time ago, I'd already said, as far as I'm concerned, I have no time for that person. And if that person came onto our thing, then she's just gone. Because we have ultimate control. So I'm saying it's about looking forward. What we're trying to do, we're trying to, Jeff, we're looking forward. We're looking where we're going.
Right. Yeah. So can I just say now, Jeff, we'll speak afterwards because what I want to do is Miss BB in. Yeah. We'll speak afterwards. But obviously, yeah, everything, believe me, you know, we've worked hard to keep things going for 20 odd years. We've not been shy to make important decisions. You know, and as you can see, we've made a bold step moving from one platform to another. But
and what you're doing?
Speak afterwards. We'll speak afterwards.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff.
So I'm going to
bring Jeff.
Miss BB.
Thanks, Jeff, aka Denzel. Yeah, for butting in because I was before you. I will deal with you after. Keep stum and mute. What I wanted to say was, I can personally vouch, but not because I personally know Junior and Carl, but having been a user of Black Chat previously, 1997,
wow.
mate, I met people on Black Chat that we're still friends now. Naya, see him there? He's waving. He's only one, a few. And my username used to be Miss 11B.
Okay.
Okay. I went on to Black Chat when you came back in again, came back out again, and I'm still on there now. But I just haven't moved over properly.
Okay.
But trust me, I will be moving over properly. I think the hesitation was just that, oh God, I've got to get everybody back on now. I've got to get everybody over here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So just keeping it on that sort of real level. It's about bringing everybody over and making them aware that, you know, look, this is where we need to be.
Miss B,
that's it.
BB, can I just say something to you? And I want everybody to also understand this. This is part of what you're saying about bringing people over. One thing which is very, very important is people are rooted in certain places at the present moment in time, okay? It is very difficult for them to join new networks for many, many reasons. But one of the main reasons, obviously, is because in the mainstream medias, everybody's there, yeah, friends, family, and so on and so on, right? This is why it makes it difficult for us to create our own platform, because our own people are very comfortable on certain mainstream social networks. So I will say this to everybody here: if you try to invite people over, some will turn their noses up, some will say, I will come next week, some will whatever, yeah? Please do not get disheartened. We want the people who want to be here, who see the vision, who want to be part of sharing their vision of how they can see the front room moving forward, and so on and so on. So I'm just letting you know that, Miss BB, that when you're saying you're bringing people over, yeah, please try and bring them over. But if they don't want to come, let them come when they're ready, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's standard. We've had all that palaver with WhatsApp and Telegram, so
Yeah, yeah. The other thing, that's what you were saying is absolutely right. What you'll find, as Junior was saying, right, you know, you'll tell people in, you've got group owners they've got, you know, 10,000, 20,000 members and all that kind of thing. A lot of those people don't want their group members to go anywhere because they obviously they own that thing. And we're saying to people, you know, if nobody doesn't want to come over, don't worry about that. What we're only interested in people that want to help build this with us.
Yeah.
And obviously we're not as good as Facebook at the moment because we haven't got the money. There's certain things, but the more people that come, the more we can introduce. We want to grow to be able to stand alongside all of those other main ones. We're not there at the moment, but we need you to come and share information as much as possible. And if you don't get no strikes in the first place, we say keep going, keep going. Invite people as well, and you invite people at this moment using the WhatsApp because they can't stop that. Although they're trying to control WhatsApp now, you know that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're trying to control. Share as much as you can on WhatsApp. Share on Facebook as well, but don't be surprised if it doesn't go anywhere on the Facebook. But share wherever you can, and just get people to come down. That's all we're asking. And then because we want to grow, we want to be able to offer the live just like Facebook. We've got that system there, but we can't afford to run it at the moment. Do you see what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We've got that in place. The more people that we use, we've got advertisement system in there. We want people to advertise your businesses if you want, or your events. Do you see what I'm saying? There's systems there. What we're going to have to do, probably, we can't do it now. We're going to probably have to invite you. We're going to be doing this at least once a month anyway. We're going to have other things as well, right?
Cool.
But this main thing was just so that people could understand first who me and Junior is, where we're coming from, and to try and get feedback like we're getting now for ideas and basically, again, to ask people to join us in building this because we want.
Okay, sorry, I just need to just quickly say, because I'm conscious that you're going to do a presentation anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether or not you're looking at, or because I'm sure I saw before you'd mentioned somewhere that you'd be doing like.
1 second. I'm just going to take this forward. Carry on talking, Junior.
Okay, like Facebook Lives.
Sorry,
like what the DJs do with music, and they put it on Facebook and it's a live. But what Facebook do is cut it. Have you got the capacity to do that?
Right.
And let people do that?
What we've got to be careful with the DJ element is that it doesn't take away what we're trying to do. However, we have the live system in place. As Carl said, it is quite expensive to manage and run. So it's not like Facebook, where Facebook, you know, you can just go on Facebook and do your thing. However, as we progress, like we said, we're taking our time. As more and more people come and use it regular, then we can start to look at ways of getting the live system going. Yeah. But we have to be careful that it doesn't become just a dancehall website. You know, we want to make sure that it stays focused on, you know, we don't want it to be, you know, a square website, but we certainly don't want it overrun with, you know, but what you do also have to remember, it's your profile. So your profile, you can do whatever you want, but just bear in mind you're contributing to the community. So it's what you want to contribute. If you're a creative, if you're a writer, you know, singer, somebody who's in as an organization that covers, you know, our sickle cells or, you know, dementias. I'm just throwing ideas there for you, but just to show you. Somebody asked a question, I think it was Audrey, asked if Christians are welcome. Of course, everybody's welcome, you know, but obviously it's what you're giving to the community. It's that central place where we can see things and build things for the community. That's what's more important. Yeah. However, you can chill out, you can go in the messenger and meet new people if you want to, or network with other people. That's entirely up to you.
I don't get what they're talking about. I'm a bit baffled.
Who's that?
Whoever's hosting can mute the divas. Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Anybody else got any questions?
Anybody? No? Okay. Do you want to show them whatever.
Not as yet.
Hold on.
I joined quite late, so sorry about that, guys, because I just got in and I joined a bit late. So I don't have any questions. So I'm just listening at the moment. Not that I don't have questions. I just don't have enough to ask yet.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean,
have a
okay. The other thing.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you mute everybody?
Just 1 second.
My name's Jackie. I just about got into Carl's introduction to what Frontroom was about. Your history. Sorry, and it was going quite well. Are you actually following an agenda, or a list of what you want to talk about in order? Because we're sort of losing a little bit.
No, I think you probably didn't hear when we said in the first place that because we was going to go one way, but then people started to put their hand up. No,
That's my point.
We did say there was, on this one, we said there was no agenda. This was really just about introduction to tell you what we was about. And then I think we was going to kind of give you just a kind of a quick introduction to the website itself. We've got an app as well, so it's slightly different. Or if you view it on a phone, it's the web version on a phone. So I think Junior was going to show you that. But this, we said earlier on, was more informal. We just wanted people to kind of get to know who we are and what we're about, and we wanted to get some feedback from people on what their thoughts on what we're saying. So no, there wasn't an agenda, Jackie.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
But it will be, but in the future ones that we do, like Carl said, just to go over that, very, very important. The future ones that we do will have an agenda. So yeah, I look forward to that.
All right.
We've got Prinny B. Hi.
You gotta unmute your mic, Prinny B. Unmute your mic.
Yeah.
Is it done now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Greetings, everyone. Nice to meet you all. Respect to what you're doing, Frontroom. I think one of the things that helped me, because I'm not very techie and I don't use social media for joke, right? So I've joined Black Chat when it was Black Chat because it was opposing to me what Facebook is all about, and anything to do with Gates, Facebook, WhatsApp, them kind of people there. So this is something I'm proud to be part of, but my problem is I'm not very techie. So will there be some sort of idiot guides to show people,
I mean, we're
people how to use it?
Yeah.
Because that's what helped me when I spoke to you, Carla. I thought I knew what I was doing on Black Chat, and I realized we're not doing nothing right here. I was posting things here and I was putting that there, and I was putting everything in the wrong place, right? And just completely just messing up my whole thing. Right. So yes, if you do some sort of idiot guide for people like me, so we can use it better, and know what we're doing.
We are definitely going to put that together as we're going along. Also, anybody who's here that has sort of played around with the previous Black Chat, which is obviously it's the same with the Frontroom, but obviously we've changed the branding and everything like that. If you're used to it and you want to share your experience with it, in terms of guiding people, but we will be putting together tutorials and quick tips and tricks and stuff like that on the website. If you notice, what we have done is we've also put an online help button. That's for those that are, when you're logged out and you need any help or anything like that, you can contact us. As we grow and get these questions coming in, we will be converting them into sort of knowledge based. So you'll be able to search and find whatever it is that you need help with. But we'll also be available through that as well for any questions, okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You got Sam, Jew, and Gina, I think.
I can see Gina. Oh,
yeah. Just to say, I'm really into social media, and sorry, I know the lady before was just saying she's not really into it, but I'm really into social media platforms and all of that stuff. I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to that, so I'm happy to help with anything. And if people can just tell me, I've only just heard about BlackNet, shame to say, but that's a fact. So I'd be happy to learn a bit and help people, and just, because I'm really into the whole social media thing. So I'm really happy and excited to hear about this. So any way I can help, or learn or anything, basically, just call on me. That's all.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you.
If you want to message, like your, if you like a contact email or something like that to either Carl or myself, and we'll get in touch with you.
Yeah.
Do you want me to put it in the chat, or just put my contact details in the chat, or
Yeah.
someone's gonna? I mean, I know Miss. So do you know what I mean? She can call me. She can call me.
Okay.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Okay.
Who was that?
Sam, sorry about that. Hi,
I would
Sam.
like your details.
Thank
I
you
would
very
like
much.
your details, Gina.
Hold on a second. Let me just lock. I need to lock everybody up. So we can.
So who said that?
That was my Prinny. I'd like your details, please, Gina.
Right, muted. Who's next? Susanna?
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm just asking basically the two brothers, when you have any business, because it is a business, you have to set out your strategic plan on your short, medium, and long-term goals, because you've got to have an end, you know, each 2 years you assess and you break it down into breadcrumbs. What are your goals? What are your objectives? We know that you want to make it an open network for Black people, but have you set your business plan in place to set those milestones and achieve those goals?
Susanna.
Hi, yes.
Hi, yeah, I mean, everything that you said, we've done longer than that. One of the things, we have a plan. This social media is not like, your normal everyday business, because obviously it's dependent on the people that are going to use it. But yes, we have a short, a medium, and a long-term plan. However, again, what we've got to do with something like this is because it's not, if people aren't using it, then it doesn't matter whether you've got a year plan, 2-year plan. It's all about how many people are going to get to use it. We have set goals where we want to get 100,000 people. We want to get, we have that. We do have that. So, but thank you for kind of putting that across. But again, because we've been in this type of thing for a long time, we understand that we set our goals. If we reach one goal, fair enough, we might not reach that goal in the same way. Then we've got to take another route. So we have kind of routes, if this doesn't work, then we've got to go try this way or try that way and so on. So yes, we have a long-term plan. We have short and mid and long-term plans. But yeah, it's because of the way it is the social media. We're kind of, we're dependent. Remember, we're not charging anybody for anything at the moment. You understand? And people can go to whatever one they want to go to. The first thing that we've got to do is we've got to try and help people to understand, if you like, the need for us to have our own media platforms. And whether it's ours that they use or another one, I don't want to say it doesn't really matter to us, but we prefer them to be using some kind of media platform that we as a community owns. That's our main objective in the first instance. Susanna?
Yeah, I got that. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, okay, thank you.
I think, yeah, as well, because of where we're at, like we said, we're focusing on getting the message across. Once, we've got the right people on board, we can start to execute the next stages and so forth and so forth. As we're going along, we will be discussing that. I think somebody in the chat there asked us to sort of tell you guys what we want you to do. Again, this meeting here was really for us to introduce, sort of open the floor. But the next time, we definitely will be sort of, I think Omar mentioned about, sent me an email actually, thank you very much, Omar, about providing materials for you guys to be able to share on different platforms and things like that, or to your friends or through your WhatsApp and things like that. We will have that, and those things will be sent out in emails and also through the actual front room itself, and we'll announce that at the next meeting, which will be in 4 weeks' time. But in the meantime, Say it again, sorry.
I was just saying that sounds great. There's only one thing that really got to me. I think it's when Denzel was saying, maybe a little bit off key here, but when he was saying that all of us should have our cameras on, including myself, mine's off, to show that we are black, basically.
No, look, at the end of the day, look, everybody has their option whether they want to have the screen on or not. You know, if somebody's not black in it, look, the front room is not saying that you know, people of non-color can't utilize or be here. What they have to understand is it's our community. They're coming into our culture, our community. It's ours. Yeah. Therefore, our agenda. They're coming into our agenda. Sorry, that's what I should be saying. You know, you're not going to be able to stop people who hide their cameras and stuff. You can't tell people.
The thing is, what you got to understand as well, because we control this, we couldn't care less who comes in and sees what we're doing, because the only thing they see us doing is building what we want. You understand? So they can come in, it doesn't matter who, we control this. Our community controls this.
As long as the control stays with you, yes.
Of course, and that's why I was saying to you.
Well, we've done it for, Susanna, we've done it for 20 odd years. We ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah, we intend to maintain, as far as we're concerned, and believe me, we got offered a lot of money for Blacknet, and we never took it, because that's not what it's about.
Okay, thank you, Susanna. I'm just going to quickly read a couple of things. I'm just going to quickly go through this. I think we're going to sort of run out of time in terms of the presentation, but what we'll
have to set another date for the presentation.
We'll set another date, and we'll set it in 2 weeks' time for those people. So we'll do it quicker than the 4 weeks, or we might even do it next week, but we will notify you guys, and we'll do a full session on how to get the best out of the front room, or, you know, features that you might not understand and things like that. So it'll either be next week or it will be the following week. Is everybody okay with that? Because obviously it wasn't. No, okay. Sabrina's not happy. Sabrina, you want it? I'll give you some then. I'll give you some time.
Yeah, Sabrina, are you okay?
Yeah, yeah, I was shaking my head to myself. It's because I'm not here next week. That was all. But yeah, it's I know you can't change it just for me.
Are you leaving the country? Are you leaving the country? Are you out the country? You're not going to be in the country? Well, you know, you can open up your laptop and go on the Wi-Fi and still attend.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, don't worry. No problem. I mean, everybody, don't worry. We will be notifying you, and you know, even if we have to blitz it for the next few weeks. But one thing is guaranteed: we'll be doing you know, a Zoom call every month. People can, and we really truly need, and hopefully we'll get your suggestions, feedbacks, and you know, more questions so that we can give you more answers and stuff like that. Because we need to learn as well, and that's very, very important. So, you know, the next thing I've got to say is thank you very much for everybody who's attended today. We really do appreciate it. Hopefully, if you're not signed up, you will sign up, and obviously try and get other people to sign up. I've got a question here just before we sort of start wrapping up things. Carl, 1 second. I think somebody said,
will the next session be recorded? I mean, why we recorded this one was because some people said that they couldn't attend. So we said, okay, we'll record it. If people would prefer us not to record it, obviously we'll go with them. Do people not want us to record it, or do you want us to record it? Can I
think that it depends where you're going to share it. If you're going to share this, or you're keeping it for your own feedback purposes for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, what it was is that there are people that couldn't attend, and they wanted to be able to see this particular one, you know. So like I said, we record it, but we don't have to record it. It's not, you know, we just done it for that purpose.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
I think that depending on the quality, the discussion. So if you're going to have people sharing stuff that's quite private and to be kept in the community, then the recording should be just kept for you guys. But if you're going to keep it so that people can talk openly and freely, then you can share it with people. I think you need to decide what you want to do with the information that's recorded.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. I mean,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think just have a think about that before you just tell everyone what you want to do, really.
Yeah.
I think you guys can decide that.
Thank you.
In some platforms, if they are going to record, they ask everyone to change their names to maybe their initials, because you're sharing private personal information.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but I hope, by the way, that perhaps it should be recorded all the time, so that the future other people can learn from this, whether I make a mistake or something like that, because a meeting like that is something this gentleman was trying to talk about learning. We learn it daily, every day we are talking. Today we learn something new, anything, and therefore recording is imperative, so that either it kept it private to our own organization here between ourselves, but then it should be shared to everybody, so that we learn it daily of what might have been talked about, so that we may correct it or improve upon it by trying to learn it from each other. That's the way it does.
Thank you.
Otherwise, we cannot ever just keep it and forget tomorrow what he talked about.
Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you. We're gonna sort of wrap it up, guys. If we're gonna do any recordings, I think we will make an announcement that it will be recorded. Is that okay, to sort of give you a heads up? And we'll also let you know, obviously, the purposes of the recording, for example, because sometimes we might need promotional material, for example, you know, to let everybody know, see, and some people, like Carl said, can't attend and things like that. So, Carl, I'm just going to unmute you, and I think, Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to sort of wrap it up now? And
Okay. First of all, like we said, first of all, let me thank everybody who's attended today. Right. Hold on, it's gone dark there. Let me just switch on the light 1 second. Right. Yeah. Right. Just like to thank everybody who attended. Thank you. And although, as we said earlier on, we said we was just going to go with the flow with this one. We said it was going to be, wasn't, just kind of casual. We wanted people to know who we was. Hopefully you learned a little bit about us and a little bit about what we're trying to do. All we ask, what we ask is that if you can join the front room if you haven't joined already, and kind of just share information. You might see something on Facebook or somewhere on the news, or just share the information, whatever you can share, if you think it will have value to members of our community. And what we're asking is that we're asking you to grow with us. We're not perfect at the moment. There may be a few things going wrong, but we intend on building and building and building. That's what we want, and we want to build it together. And like I was saying earlier, we want this to belong to our community. We don't want to be the owners of it, if you like, because we want to make it available to the whole community, and hopefully generations after us, there'll be something there that they can see that we as a community own from a media perspective. Again, I say thank you to everybody that's attended. We really appreciate those. I tell you what, I thought there'd be about 4 or 5 people in. I can see like 56 people there. So again, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Junior, you can say, and oh yeah, and like Junior says, we'll probably do another one within 2 weeks. So for those people that want to know the kind of facilities that we have, and because we have a directory as well. We've got over a couple of thousand people in the directory, but that's only on the online version. That's not in the app at the moment. Later on, we want to make it available in the app, but we'll show you all of that on the next meeting that Junior will arrange within about 2 weeks. Is everybody okay with that? I mean, just put your hands up if you know that you're all right, or thumbs up. Yeah. Again, thank you. It's been, for me, it's good.
Yeah, and thank you very much. Again, we just got to close off by saying, sign up, www.frontroom.link. So that's frontroom.link. Or if you got if you got Android, you can download the app, just put in Front Room and you'll see it there in the App Store. The iPhone is coming. We're working on it right now. We've just got a few bugs on it. Hopefully it'll be out in the next few weeks. I believe a month top. I think Carl's frozen there as well.
At the moment, the Android is there. So you just go Android or what's it called, Play Store or whatever, and put Frontroom in, and you'll be able to download it. I personally prefer the mobile one on the phone. So you can use it on your phone as well. If you go to the mobile, go to the website, you can create a home page on your phone. I prefer that one. I like the app as well, but I just got so used to the web on the phone. But it's up to you what you want. And again, thank you very much to everybody. Thank you. Right, are we going to say bye now?
I don't know how to end these meetings, but can I just say one thing before you bounce out? When Carl was saying about sharing stuff from platforms, please just bear this in mind, because one thing we're very strong about is building Black media, like journalists, news outlets and things like that, because right now we're sharing things from, which is, from like Daily Mail and, the Telegraph, who don't really have our interest, to be honest with you, to be quite frank. But, we need to be able to support our bloggers, our vloggers, these kind of creatives. We need to get behind them because there is so much information and data out there. So if you see that, please share that in the front room. If there is news in the mainstream, we're not saying that you don't do it. We're just saying that our priorities should be with our Black journalists, writers, creatives, and that kind of thing. Okay. And if you know anybody like that, get them to sign up and get them posting their things as well. So on that note, I think I'm gone. Paul's gone. So
saying bye to everybody again.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Bounce you all out.
Everyone. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Professor Luz Kahende should be involved.
God bless.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Good night. Everybody's saying bye.
Good night, guys.
Good night. We're going out. Jackie
You all.
Clark.
Thank you so much.
Teddy.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Take care. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night. I think they're all.
Jackie Clark as well.
Teddy, good night. Sophia, good night. Priscilla, Paul,
Eileen, Chaz, everybody, bye-bye. We just watched it done there. Still got 13 people going, bye. We're trying to wait until everybody's gone, so we're saying bye.
Thank you, Sophia. Thank you for the comments.
Cheers, D, Eileen, Paul Anthony, bye. Sophia's still there.
I can't say good evening. I have to say it's afternoon here in Jamaica.
Okay,
bye.
All right.
Well done. That was quite interesting. Can I say, Bella shared the information to me. As much as I'm on your Facebook groups, I'm a member, yeah? She sent me a WhatsApp, and that's quite interesting because as much as she posted it on Bella Bite Size and you've posted the information, it gets, as you say, algorithms, whatever, it gets overlooked. So the minute I came in, literally, I got the message on WhatsApp because I was out. I looked at it, I forwarded it on to 10 people and 2 of them came on. So the power of what Bella's done, and then I burst send it to people in England.
Lovely.
This is why we're saying, yeah, thank you so much for that, Marie. Hello?
Yeah,
yeah, thank you very much for that, because that's the point that we're trying to make. We know that we're going to have a hard time with certain social networks, because what they're actually doing is war gardening. So they're putting a wall around, and they're fighting off not just us, but other people. So we need 100% the support of each person, basically, and as a collectively, we can do it. We can do it. And in fact, we will do it. Not even that.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, and I sent a range of people, whether it's DJ, but business people, and 1 or 2 came back and said, what is this? And I said, I don't know, but I'm just curious. So no, excellent. And to think I'll try and join and do whatever I've got to do. And my husband tried to join as well before he had problems. But Bella, yeah, what she does is good, and I'll replicate it what I can. So
thank you.
done.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Take care. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Good night. Good night.